Guys, Detroit has the opportunity to do something special this offseason. The future does look bright, but it only looks bright if you draft right and you hit the free agency right. It's really, really pivotal for the Detroit Lions to get a number one wide receiver. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown has had a wonderful rookie season, definitely a bounce back year because at the beginning of the year, he wasn't getting a lot of targets. But, a couple players got hurt, Cephas, and then, they ended up cutting Tyrell Williams. And we already know Perryman did not even last with the team. He didn't even last with the team that long. But he did get the opportunity to play again in Tampa Bay. But the biggest thing for the Detroit Lions is if you're Brad Holmes, you're Dan Campbell, you're the scout team, it's about going out and getting the guys that's going to make this team better. You could take any one of these wide receivers, and I think that any of these guys, they got the talent to be a number one wide receiver in the NFL. Guys like David Bell, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams, Drake London, Treylon Burks. All of these kids have the opportunity to be that number one wide receiver. But the question on the table as a fan, who do you want to see the Detroit Lions draft? Which receiver in the draft do you think would ultimately make a great number one wide receiver and will be that guy for years in Detroit? Now, yeah, I know everybody got the cryptic message with Amon-Ra talking to Drake London, and that would be beautiful. Drake London has the size. He's about 6'5", 210 pounds. And then you got also Burks, who is a beast, who has huge hands. Hands is like a baseball mitt. And the dude is nice, man. And he really, really played well against Alabama. I remember watching that game, even though they didn't beat Alabama, which how many teams can beat Alabama? But on a serious note, man, the future does look bright in Detroit, but it's only predicated if Brad Holmes drafts correctly and hit the free agency correctly. Now, there's some free agents, wide receivers that you could possibly grab too. I know a lot of people was thinking about Michael Gallup from Dallas. A lot of people have been talking about Chris Godwin, and there's a few other receivers too as well. But the biggest key is, why not get your guy that will be able to be with the team and stay with the team and be able to do? You get that young wide receiver, then you're able to grow together. And definitely, man, it's a lot of talent. It's a lot of wide receivers coming out this season. Guys that you probably never heard of will be coming into this draft. You just never know where you're going to find your diamond in the rough, but you just got to draft right. It's all about hitting the draft right, getting the right guy that's for your team, and a guy that you see fit being able to be that number one wide receiver, whether it be Treylon Burks, whether it be Drake London, Williams, Olave, Garrett Wilson, David Bell. All of these guys have talent. It was another wide receiver that I was looking at, and this guy probably I would say he would be a under the radar guy, or he would be a hidden gem. Xavier Hutchinson from Iowa State. That's another guy, but I think that he's going to go back to school. But he has the size. You need a couple of receivers that have the size on them too as well. We don't have that many receivers in Detroit that got size, and we need that. We need a guy that got, some burners, and we need a guy that has that size. And I think that they're going to do well. I think that next season, a lot of great things can happen with Detroit. The schedule is kind of favorable, but we are the Detroit Lions, so we still got to learn how to win games and close games out in the fourth quarter. And I think if we do that, man, we're gonna be a better team in 2022. Now, I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say that they're gonna make the playoffs next year. I'm not gonna do anything like that, but they should be able to win more games than what they won this season. I think that this team should be able to do that. We all know that Detroit just needs the talent. Once they get the talent and once they're able to mold the young talent, to what they need out there on that field, then I think they're going to be better. And I think that any of these guys could be your number one wide receiver. And I'm pretty sure, guys, a lot of you guys have your favorite pick at receiver. A lot of you guys are in love with Drake London. A lot of you guys love Treylon Burks. A lot of you guys might like David Bell. Some of you guys might like the Ohio State boys, Olave and Garrett Wilson. And everybody know that Williams is a burner from Alabama. And all eyes will be on him to see what he does in the championship game. Williams has the opportunity to be the first receiver probably taken. And if you're the Detroit Lions with that Rams pick, it's a possibility that one of these guys could fall to you. I know we can't get everything. We have 2 picks in the first round, and we just got to be able to nail both of them. Whether we decide to trade back or whether we decide to stay at the 2 spot. But whatever we do, we must make sure we get impactful players that's going to help this team and propel this team in 2022 to ultimately be able to compete. And eventually by year 3, you're contending. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to contend for a playoff spot. And I think that it's only right that this team should be able to grow in year 3. So I'm not going to say just next season, even though some teams have been able to turn it around in 1 year. And you're thinking like, man, how did these guys turn it around? I mean, look what Cincinnati did. Cincinnati won the division. Joe Burrow got hurt, came back the next season, bounced back, got his weapon in Jamar Chase. I know a lot of people was probably thinking that they were going to grab Penei Sewell because, why not beef up that front line for Joe Burrow since he got hurt? But I knew in my mind that they were taking Jamar Chase because him and Jamar Chase had a strong connection when they were at LSU together. So I definitely knew that Chase was going to be the guy that they was going to end up taking. And it worked out perfectly. Look at Chase, right now sitting at 79 receptions, over 1,400 yards and 13 touchdowns. That is phenomenal, man, as a rookie wide receiver. So I'm definitely expecting great things from the Detroit Lions in 2022. But who do you want the Detroit Lions to draft? Leave it in the comments section, guys, on what you think Detroit should do with that Rams pick. What receiver would you take ultimately? And at the end of the day, you know what? We got to keep it raw. All right, guys, I'll be back to you with another video soon. I'm out of here.